Hi parents, we are here to encourage you today as we emerge out of this lockdown season, but I just want to warn you, we're recording this on a Friday evening, we're exhausted, and the reason is, we're parents.
Yeah, we know what it's like to be parents. We know how rewarding an experience that can be. We also know how tiring and relentless it can be. And particularly in this lockdown period, we recognise that many of you will have been putting in extra time and extra hours as parents with your children, educating them, spending time socially with them, and helping them when they can't spend time with their own friends and peers from school. And that can seem so much like a storm, a big storm in our lives. And so we wanted to share with you this morning a story from the Bible, a story of Jesus and a storm that he faced.
I'm reading from Luke chapter 8, verses 22 to 25. One day, Jesus got into a boat with his disciples and said to them, "Let's go across to the other side of the lake." So they started out. As they were sailing, Jesus fell asleep because he was tired. Suddenly, a strong wind blew down on the lake and the boat began to fill with water so that they were all in great danger. The disciples went to Jesus and woke him up, saying, "Master, Master, we're about to die!" Jesus got up and gave an order to the wind and the stormy water. They died down and there was great calm. Then he said to the disciples, "Where's your faith?" But they were amazed and afraid and said to one another, "Who is this man? He gives orders to the winds and waves and they obey him."
I don't know about you, but our experience of being parents has been that you never know what the next storm is that's going to be around the corner. But I can guarantee you there will be one. That's true in life generally, but it's particularly true when you're a parent of children. And when we look at this story, we actually see two ways of facing this storm that came upon Jesus and his disciples while they were in the boat. You could take the approach of the disciples, and oftentimes that's the approach that Emily and I have taken, which is to fight the storm, to work so hard to try and beat that storm, to get through it. And it can feel in those circumstances like there is no rest to be had. We have to keep going. We have to get through this storm, otherwise everything is going to fall apart. But Jesus shows another approach. Jesus shows that in him we can find rest in the midst of the storms. Jesus knows that even after this storm has passed, there will be other storms, maybe not on the water, but there will be other storms that these disciples will have to face. And the secret to beating storms is not fighting them, but accepting they're part of life and making sure that we get rest in the midst of them, that we know this peace that we can have from Jesus in the midst of these storms. And so our message this morning to you parents is really simple. We want to encourage you this morning. We want to say thank you for the massive effort that you have put in over this coronavirus lockdown period with your children. We know that it's not a task that you do for our thanks, but we recognise it anyway, that it is an immense responsibility and an immense amount of work. And we recognise that this coronavirus lockdown may have seemed to you like a bit of a storm, like everything is a mess at home, like educating the children is something you've never had any experience in doing before and you never planned to. And we want to encourage you this morning to take rest, to take time out with Jesus and to say, despite what the latest storm is going on in my life or the life of my children, I am going to rest with him, because in him I can weather out this storm and any other storm that we can face.
I'm going to pray for you before we go. Lord God, thank you that you love each of us. And this morning we claim those words that Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Not rest after we've done everything perfectly, not rest only after all the storms in our lives are gone, but rest right now. I pray that everybody watching this would just take that time with you today to be refreshed and loved by you. Lord, that you would say, it's going to be okay.